This session will cover turf cutting in VoterIQ. To begin your turf cutting, you have already moved all of your data over to a project and went ahead and assigned all the data points to the project. Now, after all of that is completed, we can begin to cut the turf into the sections that we wish to assign out to our volunteers. So to begin, what we first do is go to the Cut button, click on Cut. What it will do is bring up a new tab and show you the data points mapped out on the screen. You have a couple of different options with turf cutting. Essentially, it's based on the design that you want for your walk or your phone. And the easiest way to actually go through and show you this is to show you an intended walk list format. So what we'll do is we'll take an overall county of data and essentially break it out by assigning one precinct at a time. So in order to do this, the first thing we will need to do is to draw a bounding box around the total universe that we're looking for. To do that, you can go up at the top and you'll see the toolbars here. We will draw a polygon, which is a shape that we can design on our own, depending on the geography. Once we do that, it will highlight green. We can go in and get a count if we need to, total count of the universe. Now what we want to do is cut a turf based on the precinct itself within the county. And in order to do that, what we'll do is we'll scroll down over the overlay section, go down to the precinct section here. Now this can vary depending on what you're wanting to cut the turf on. So if you're wanting to do a city council district or things of that nature, you will select whatever the unit is that you're wanting to assign based on that unit there. So we will hit the reload button. And what will happen is you will have each precinct broken out on the map itself. So for us to go through here and select one precinct to do a cut on, we will go select the precinct that we're looking for. This is the precinct number and the total number of records within that. We'll click on the filter icon or the box there to select this is the filter of the precinct that we're selecting. We will go up here and lay out our canvas, which path we want to take for our voters. Now you can change between the ELOT system, which is essentially how U.S. Postal Service delivers mail, or you can do it on distance, depending on which one you wish to actually canvas off of. So you can play around with either one of these options here to see which is best for you. First thing you'll see is all of your data points here with the red balloons, and you'll see one that's bouncing, which is your blue balloon. Now this is your starting point on your data. This can be changed by left-clicking with your mouse, and you'll see the shape change here on the path. Another option you can do is if you're doing a walk list is you can segment out the sections here. This is critical on the paper walk list, that if you're wanting to actually break out the sections and indicate a map, if your walk sheet is formatted for maps for each segment. So what you can do is if you're wanting to actually go based on the sequence here, is that I can go through and either right-click on the map or left-click on these bubbles right here to segment out this list. What I can do is I can go through and every 25 data points, and once I click, you'll see that changes to green, and you'll see the green bubble balloon popping up and down. And just going through here, and every 25, and you'll see on the screen the segments popping up there. And I can continue doing this until I complete my walk. And again, what I'm doing here is I'm segmenting out every 25 data points. It can vary by whatever need that you have on the walk sheet. And essentially what this is beneficial for on the walk sheet is just to have the map for each one of those segments. For the mobile app, this doesn't necessarily apply since you're using the map feature within the mobile app itself. All right, so we've got this now set up. And we've got, since this is based on the filter, what we'll need to do is to display the filter. We'll get a pop-up that indicates the filter is based on precinct number 420. To see this means that you have completed this accordingly. You hit OK. And now what we want to do is go up here and save. And you can name it whatever this is. Hit save. And it will tell us that it was successfully saved. Now what I'll need to do is to do this for each one of the assignments that I'm wanting to create. So in order to just continue on with new assignments, what I'll do is I can go up here and click Start a New Turf. It will tell me that it will clear off all shapes. I'll say yes. And then what I'll do is I'll do the next turf accordingly. The same process that I just did, repeating those entire steps there. And I would just indicate the next precinct that I want. So if that's how I wanted to cut, is precinct by precinct, this is the process. And a way to actually check to make sure that you are correct and the assignment did create properly is to go back to your main screen, click on Assign. Your assignments will list here, and you will see the precinct 420 Monroe that we had just created. It's one shape and 275 voters for that. And with that, you were able to actually go and start creating the actual assignment to send out to your volunteers. And essentially going over some of the other options for the turf cutting is that you can look at boundary and you can look at your different shapes for drawing there. If you're needing to go back and actually proof previous ones that you've created, you can go back up here to load. Look at the load screen. We can look at precinct 420 Monroe. I can load that back up. And that will show me the precinct 420 assignment that I had just created. And I could do the subsequent ones with other ones as well. And that completes how to cut turf on Aristotle's VoterIQ.